everyone. This is WWE superstar Titus O'Neil, and you are listening to WNS.
You're listening to the official Wrestling News Source podcast. For all of your information, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com or check us out on Facebook by searching WrestlingNewsSource.com or WNS Podcast. You can also find us on YouTube, Twitter, Stitcher, and iTunes by searching Wrestling News Source Podcast or WNS Podcast. Now being broadcast in over 45 different countries, here are your hosts, Daniel Herron, Tyler Abear, and Doug.
That's right. What's up, everyone? I am Daniel Herron.
I'm Tyler Abear.
I'm Doug.
And we welcome you to episode 324 of the official podcast for WrestlingNewsSource.com. For all of your information, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com. Check us out on Facebook, WrestlingNewsSource.com. You can find us on Facebook, WNS Podcast, on YouTube, WNSvideo, and on iTunes, Wrestling News Source Podcast.
You know what?
What?
We were on Stitcher, on Pod, Player.fm, and Satchel. And all you have to do is search Wrestling News Source Podcast to find us.
Not necessarily have to, but you could.
I mean,
the option is
you
there.
Get on there, then when you search, you don't search it.
If that's your podcast listening platform, then in order to find us, that's all you got to do.
The podcast.
Sorry.
You done?
Yep.
The podcast is on Twitter at WNS Podcast. Daniel is at WNS_Daniel, and Tyler is at Tyler_Aber.
There you go. So welcome to the show. Have a lot to cover this week.
Blew that up.
I did. We've got feedback, Raw, SmackDown, NXT Takeover, Backlash Predictions, some hot topics as well. All that good stuff and more. So how you guys doing?
Doing all right.
Yeah? Hanging in there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. How's the life?
Same old.
Yeah?
Go to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Watch wrestling. Work out. That's about it.
I worked out.
Yeah.
Do you wiggle?
Yeah. Sometimes. But you can't wiggle while you're doing certain things.
Do you wiggle 5 times and then say yeah?
Yeah, and I'm done.
All right. That's an easy workout. I think I could do that. I'll have to test it. Doug, how are
Drink
you?
a protein drink after that.
Yeah.
I'm all right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How's the life?
The life is all right.
All right. That's what I like to hear.
What about the life?
It's going all right. As Matthew McConaughey would say, it's all right, all right, all right.
I saw on Snapchat, it was last week, Kelsey took a picture of you that you were playing on the
I
Switch.
was playing a whole lot of Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. You're most likely, well, no, you are further than me.
Yeah.
I put it down.
I've completely filled up my stamina, so I have all 3 rings. And I have the full row of hearts, and I have 2 on the bottom row.
Oh, okay. That's cool. What do you have?
Not that many. I don't remember exactly how many hearts I have. Maybe like 15 or something.
Nice.
Have you been to every place?
I have enough to pull the Master Sword and a couple extra.
Very cool. No, I haven't. Well, what do you mean by every place?
Have you discovered everything that's like the lands? It's not blank. You know how if you go to the tower.
Oh,
and then,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought you meant all of the shrines and everything like that. No, I haven't been to all the shrines yet.
You know who has? I saw Cesaro tweeting about it. He did a little screen cap, and he's got all 120 shrines.
That's awesome.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
It's I guess if he's not driving wherever he's going, he has the Switch and he's like, oh yeah, I got it.
It's probably a good travel game, for planes and stuff.
That'd be easy. That'd be easy playing.
Yeah.
But I've conquered all of the divine beasts.
Actually, in the middle of the last one, I just had to stop.
Which one is your last?
Camel.
God,
I'm inside. I just gotta do the puzzles.
I hate the camel. You guys know I hate the camel.
Yeah, I think you hate the camel.
A little bit. But, yeah, I'm still having a ton of fun playing it. I still haven't found the monster yet who sells the masks.
He's
you
in the Clacka region or whatever. It's like the AAK. It's wherever, when you do buy the house storyline, and that guy goes, it's in that
It's in some canyon.
It's in that region or whatever. He's at the very top. There's a little skull shaped
at the top.
lake type thing. He's like down in there.
Okay, yeah.
But you can only go at night. He's not. He doesn't hang out.
When I
Is he
saw
there every
him-
night? Okay. Cool.
What's weird is when I saw him, he like talked to me and then he ran away.
Well, the first time, but then like going forward, like he's hanging out on the outskirts of the towns you go through.
I saw him again in the same spot, but I haven't talked to him yet. I don't know if he's gonna run again.
No, he just does it the first time.
Oh, okay.
I'll have to find him. Because at one point I was up to like 9,000 rupees, and then I spent it all on different stuff, equipment.
Well, his like monetary system is different. It's based off of monster parts. So like bokoblin horns and shit like that.
Oh, yeah.
I got plenty of those.
Yeah.
I've been able to kill a couple of Lionels, so that's pretty cool. What are those giants called?
Inox, I believe.
Yeah, I've gotten to where I can kill them before they even stand up.
Really?
Like they're how they're sleeping.
Yeah.
What I'll do is I'll sneak up to them, and since my stamina is so high, I can do that charged attack with a with a great sword.
You can swing a bunch of times.
And just swing it. So by the time he
That's
finally
awesome.
stands up, he's already dead.
Hey, what's the highest like level weapon you've encountered? Because I haven't got anything out of the 60s.
Oh, no, I haven't gotten that high yet. I think mine's are. I found a couple in like the 50s, I think.
Okay, so I know we talked about this last time. I totally forgot. So Master Sword can or can't break? I know we talked about this. I forget.
In a sense, it breaks because it air quote runs out of energy, and then it takes 10 minutes
And
to
it respawn-
recharge,
okay.
and then it's back in your
Gotcha,
inventory.
gotcha.
So it's pretty cool. I mean, it's not the strongest sword, but it's cool to use.
I thought I read somewhere.
I imagine it's instrumental in like the end game though. Like I imagine you have to use it.
No.
You beat Ganon already? You fought the
No, I haven't, but I've seen a lot of videos where people don't even use it. I mean, heck, there are videos out there. If you search on YouTube, someone beats the entire game in 45 minutes.
Speed run?
Yeah, he does a speed run. He doesn't even get the Master Sword. He has 3 hearts and just goes in and beats everything.
How the hell do you get past all those guardians?
You just run.
Shit.
I can fight Guardians. I fought Guardian. I learned to fight Guardians in the Great Plateau.
For a couple of
You can deflect with their shield. It's,
Still can't
a
do
couple
that
of
shit.
attempts, I was able to parry it back, but then for whatever reason I forgot how to do it, and I got my ass handed to me.
though I haven't figured out the timing on the flying Guardians, like the little helicopter ones. I can't parry those for whatever reason. I can, but I can't deflect it back at them. It sort of like shoots it off to the side.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then you show us a picture of that sand creature. I've never seen one of those. I haven't been in that desert.
Yeah. Those are easy to kill, though.
Okay.
You just stand on a rock and throw a bomb. It'll run towards it, jump up in the air. And while it's in the air, you detonate your bomb. It'll come down and you attack it. And then you run back on the rock whenever it goes back underground.
You know, there was a game, I think, that it came out yesterday that I want to get. I don't know if have you ever played the first Injustice?
No.
The second one came out. You played Injustice?
Yes, technically, but
I've never
I
read the
wouldn't really
comics.
say I played it. I mean, I've fucked around with it a little bit.
But man, that was a good storyline in the game. I want to get the second one. It just came out yesterday.
Cool.
And yeah, when I get a chance, I'll get that.
Very nice.
Is there any games looking at thing?
I'm probably going to pick up Mario Kart just because.
When is that coming out?
It's already
It's
out.
already out.
Oh, it's already out.
Yeah. I'll probably
Waiting on
get
that
that.
Splatoon.
When does that come out?
Sometime this summer, I think.
Fun stuff. So let's get into the show. We have some feedback. First bit of feedback we have is from James saying they are finally using our team, Tyler.
Bo.
Your team.
Brzango.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. No.
Those are your
I'm
boys.
pumped, but I don't know, man. We're gonna see what happens. We'll get into that to the pay per view. I'll tell my theory of what's gonna happen in the match, but I like it, because they didn't use them at first. They just put them together and then they just jobbed. I think right, Brizongo.
Yeah.
I mean, they gave him that intertwined theme. They didn't really do anything. I mean, we'll get into SmackDown a little bit, but that scene, the thing they did was still pretty lame, I thought. But I mean, it's still cool that they're using them.
Yeah.
the Law and or what's the Law and Order ripoff thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fashion Files.
Yep.
Cool.
Those are my boys.
Next.
I thought they're gonna, because what's his name made a Super Troopers reference, so I thought they were gonna do like a more Super Troopers or E1. You know,
I wish they would have.
I'm freaking out, man. You are freaking out, man.
Meow, listen.
God. Next bit of feedback we have is from Micah saying, "Happy belated birthday, Doug. Hope you had fun. Hope you had a fun time at Disney, Tyler.
I did.
And keep those little Dicky references coming, Daniel. First and foremost, you guys have an amazing show. One of the best things about my Thursdays is knowing that I will be alerted to the next WNS podcast video. All three of you, 4 on this particular episode, whenever Ryan joined us, always provide great insight as well as perfect comedic execution that only very good friends who enjoy talking about something they find interesting and or is a passion can. The first episode I listened to you all was the interview you had with Roderick Strong, I think in early 2015. And from then on, I've been a WNS fan through and through. I'm on a podcast myself and hope that one day my capabilities to convey this passion that we all share for wrestling is close to how you all conduct yourselves on a week-to-week basis. I won't speak about my podcast because this comment is to put you guys over, not me. Keep hashing out those great episodes. You're always guaranteed a thumbs up from this faithful listener. So thank you, Micah.
Thank
Very
you,
kind.
man.
Yeah, I mean,
Thank you so
thanks for the birthday wishes. Thanks for the kind words about the show. I don't care if you mention your podcast. I don't know what it is, but
Or you know what? Shoot us. Go onto our Facebook page, WNS Podcast, and send us a private message of your show. I'd like to check it out.
Yeah. And thank you for the kind words, man. Yeah, we're just 3, good friends just shooting shit about wrestling.
That's
and
right.
Video games and
Shoot that shit.
goofy stuff. So we love it.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, we appreciate it. So, like I said, we've got a lot to cover this week. Raw, SmackDown, NXT Takeover, Backlash, Hot Topics, all that good stuff and more. Do y'all have a preference of where y'all want to start? Or just start at the beginning?
it doesn't matter to me.
All right, let's talk a little bit about Raw. Kurt Angle came out, announced that Braun Strowman could be out up to 6 months with his elbow injury that has now had surgery.
You know,
They'll
they
be
do.
back in July.
Oh,
I think they're doing. So from what I understand, is the 6-month thing is a work so that when he comes back in July, it's a surprise.
Nice. I'm for that.
I mean, he's really hurt. He really does need time, but he doesn't.
And he
need
did
the
have surgery.
but he doesn't need the 6 months. Supposedly he'll be back like mid-July or something. He'll be back for a SummerSlam program. Is
Cool.
what they're.
they didn't advertise him for our house show, did he? Because they've been doing
I don't
commercials.
believe so. I haven't even seen them.
It said Roman versus Braun on the TV the commercial during Raw announcements, but that was after he had already been like pulled or whatever. So.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, I know. In my feed on Facebook, like WWE.com, like whoever has surgery, they like post pictures of them in surgery. They don't do like I don't think like graphic ones, but like I don't know.
They'll show some.
I'm not into that, to be honest with you.
What? You're not into seeing all the blood and guts?
Yeah, check it out. We opened your arm, or we opened your whatever.
Definitely.
Opened your ass.
No. We don't need that.
Ew.
No one needs that. I would like to get your guys' thoughts on this whole Braun Strowman situation. If they do decide to pull the trigger and go Strowman versus Lesnar at SummerSlam, which I think it would be a fine match because I really want to see that.
Yeah.
What are your guys' thoughts on the likely chance or the possible chance that Strowman gets the win, holds on to the title, and faces Roman at WrestleMania as opposed to Brock Lesnar? Because I feel like the story leading up so far has been Braun Strowman has just been so dominant, and he's been the one taking out Roman Reigns, not Brock Lesnar. I just feel like it would be a chance to establish Braun Strowman as a guy, get Roman Reigns the title, or whatever they want to do at WrestleMania, and you can maybe utilize Brock Lesnar for something else.
I don't have a problem with that, but if that was something that they are going to do, I wouldn't have had Roman be the guy who puts him on the shelf, because to me that's, in some sense, even if it's a small and unofficial sense in terms of it not being a match or anything, in some way he got over on him. Like, even if it's just like surprise revenge, like he got using a chair and shit to get it. To me, that's still in some small way like getting one over on him. And if that's going to happen, I would want Braun to keep strong until and to Roman sort of look like it'd be a question if he could handle Strowman at any point.
Yeah.
And I would want to keep that juxtaposition until you actually, beat Braun with Roman.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with like that though. I mean, going that direction. I would hope that they wouldn't have done it this way if that's something they've already figured out.
Okay. What about you, Tyler?
I don't know. I still see it. I mean, with the whole Roman thing, I guess. So wait. So is it announced for SummerSlam or?
Nothing is
just
fully
no
announced.
one knows anything.
These are the speculative
speculations.
Yeah.
When is SummerSlam?
July, August, somewhere in there.
I think
I don't
August.
know, man. I still believe the whole thing that I guess Brock's gonna beat Strowman or whatever, and it's just gonna come down to Reigns and Lesnar. I don't know. Hey, I wish it was. That'd be awesome if Strowman beats Lesnar.
It's actually going to be August 20th.
Okay.
A little later. But I don't know. I feel like, we haven't seen Brock Lesnar since he won the title at WrestleMania. Strowman's been on a tear. They've been building this. Yeah, I get it. Elbow injury and tear and whatever. But they've been building this feud between Braun Strowman, Roman Reigns. I feel like maybe they even do an injury angle with Roman where Strowman comes back, injures Roman, takes him out for however long, and then he comes back seeking revenge. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to take the title from you. Because it's been by the time that WrestleMania comes around, it'll have been over a year that this feud has been going on, because it really kind of kicked off at the Royal Rumble whenever Strowman interfered in Roman's match. So,
man, I don't like this stuff where they're just Lesnar's not on air and he has the title.
Yeah. And so, what would I just feel like it would be a better chance to establish your full-time talent. This is our main event. We're not relying on past talents. We're not relying on part-timers. We're relying on our best feud that we've got going. Speculative, whatever.
I just feel like, and we talked about this before, everything's in a jumble, man.
Yeah.
Like, what was it? Okay, so there's Roman, Seth Rollins, Bray Wyatt, Samoa Joe, Finn Balor, all in a jumble.
Yeah. So, I just don't know. I feel like it would make more sense to me to have that match, to have Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania for the title, as opposed to Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar.
Well, I think they have this long-term story on the table of Roman not besting Brock that they want to get back around to. And maybe they think it means less if Braun gets there before Roman does.
Yeah. And they could try and build off the story of the two men who have defeated The Undertaker at WrestleMania square off at WrestleMania to determine who's the better man. But I don't know. I just feel like they've done a much better job with Strowman. And
I don't think that's the story they're telling. I think the story they're telling is Lesnar was beating the shit out of Roman, but he couldn't put him away.
Yeah.
And then they didn't finish that off. Seth comes out and then cashes in and wins and sneaks one out on the both of them.
Yeah. I just don't know. We'll see what they have to do. But Kurt Angle did come out, make that announcement that Strowman will be out for some time, and announce that we're going to have a fatal 5-way at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view to determine the number one contender for Brock Lesnar. It's going to be Roman Reigns, Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, Bray Wyatt, and Seth Rollins. Seth freaking Rollins. And they come out in that order, each have their own chance to talk a little bit, and then they all brawl, which sets up for matches later on that night. So, you know. We got to see Jeff Hardy go up against Sheamus. Sort of a revenge match for Jeff Hardy getting his tooth knocked out. Anything to really take away from it?
No, it was good.
Yeah.
Man, that sucks when you get your tooth knocked out.
It does. I don't think it's ever fun.
Yeah. Last time when that happened to me.
Yeah.
Man. No.
We had a blast.
Yeah, we had a blast. I don't remember anything.
Let's do it again.
Don't remember anything.
Yeah. After that, we got to see Alicia Fox going up against Sasha Banks. And apparently Alicia Fox and Noam Dar are back together.
Okay, I only saw the end part of it. So was there any help by Noam Dar for her to get that scissor kick on? She just won straight up.
It was a clean win.
That's weird. Is that weird?
It's a little weird. But maybe
nowhere.
they're trying to establish Alicia Fox as a viable threat.
Wish that's good.
Yeah. They could always use more people like that.
Yeah.
I don't know that you start here.
No.
That's true. But
she got
shocked. I was shocked. I'm like,
but last week she got her shoulder up, so she was granted a rematch.
So that's gonna be like a feud, you think?
I guess so.
Alicia Fox
they don't really have anything for Sasha Banks at the moment.
Maybe this is
Sasha.
Maybe this is
over.
them. No, this is like them building towards a Sasha heel turn, like in a sense, maybe out of frustration or something. But I don't know that you necessarily need that right now with Alexa as the champ.
Yeah,
I don't know. It was weird for sure. I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see how it plays out.
Mm-hmm. After that, we got to see the Intercontinental Championship being defended. Miz going up against Dean Ambrose. I felt this was a fine matchup. The match ends in a disqualification, so Ambrose keeps the title, but Miz gets the victory.
I'm not caring about this feud. I think it's on Dean's part.
Yeah. Yeah, I think.
Don't care.
I think Miz is being solid in the ring, and part of me just thinks that Ambrose doesn't really care. Like, he's going out there, he's being wacky and crazy, and that's about it. As long as Michael Cole gets to say, the lunatic fringe, which still makes no sense to me, but whatever.
I don't know. I like that. I thought this was a fun match, and I know a lot of people, like, for one, I thought Ambrose actually looked motivated on Raw, and for two, I know a lot of people didn't like that finish, but to me, I thought the finish was great because that's the presentation of Ambrose I would prefer to see. Like, instead of, to me, this wasn't the wacky and crazy stuff that you guys were trying to like lump it in with the rest of the stuff. To me, like, I buy Ambrose as a character where Miz tries to low blow him, he catches him, and he's like, fuck you. You thought you were gonna low blow me. I'm just gonna blatantly kick you in the dick. And I get. To me, that's like something that resonates as a character from Ambrose, and I don't lump that in with the rest of the pretty lame, wacky stuff that he does. So I thought he was motivated in the match. I thought the match was fun. I like the finish. It is sort of a weird stipulation to set up for the pay-per-view that it could change hands on a disqualification, but I think that like buys into like the Miz's whole thing where you think like Miz is gonna like underhandedly sneak his way back into a championship. So I think it actually, even though that seems like a weird for like an Extreme Rules type pay-per-view, it's weird that the stip can change hands on a DQ, but it sort of works in like the context of, well, the Miz is in the match.
Yeah.
I thought this was pretty good. I thought Ambrose actually looked motivated in the ring for the first time in a while tonight, and I didn't mind the finish. So I don't know. I guess I'm just an outlier on this one.
I just have like a meh attitude towards him.
I think that might be it.
I mean, I think that's perfectly reasonable to have that attitude because most of the time his performance is pretty uninspired. I just thought tonight I thought Miz sort of brought what what I want out of his character, out of him. And I thought he looked motivated in the ring. So I had no problems with any of this.
Do you think, and we'll, obviously we'll give our Extreme Rules predictions, but do you think Miz will try and do sort of like the old Eddie Guerrero, hit a chair and on the ground and then toss it to Ambrose for him to catch or something?
I mean, look, you don't book that stip without trying to play into the stip. So they're going to play into it somehow. They're going to tease something somehow. So
we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, they did set up a stipulation for Extreme Rules: Miz versus Ambrose. If Ambrose gets himself disqualified, then
I think it's in general. I guess it only really works.
The title can change hands via disqualification. Yeah. So if Miz wins by disqualification, he becomes the new champion. So we'll see.
And maybe the match won't be so great because it's probably going to be a bunch of like the ref almost DQing Ambrose, and Ambrose is going to have to
show him the replay,
cool out or whatever. So I could see the match not being great, but from a stipulation standpoint that works with the Miz's character, I think it works in that regard. The match may suck because it's a weird stipulation to work around.
Yeah. We shall see. After that, Alexa Bliss came out, cut a promo, and I thought she handled the crowd very well as they were, doing the what chants to her, and so she smarted off to them, and they fell for it.
Where are they at? It was over.
They were in New Jersey, I believe.
That's not where I thought they were.
Because I know that Enzo got a big pop, and that was kind of where he's from.
Pop.
Yeah. He got popped in the back of the head by Apollo Crews.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bayley came out. She tried to cut a promo. I mean, bless her heart, she's trying, but she's just not on the same level as Alexa Bliss.
Yeah.
And it shows. And, Bayley's a fine worker. She's got to get the mic stuff down.
Maybe it'll just take some time.
Maybe, but even in NXT, I don't remember her cutting one of those really solid promos. She's always been a little shaky, almost nervous.
Well, whenever she first did, she was acting to me, she was like a little kid or esque. But whenever Sasha and Becky, dang it, Bayley got hurt, so that's when Becky, Charlotte, and Sasha moved up.
Yeah.
So Bayley had to she acted out more mature and stuff and cut serious promos because that's the stuff against Asuka. And, but I don't know. She seemed serious enough on that. I don't know.
I mean, it's not her strong point.
Oh, that's true. I agree.
So whenever you put her in the ring across from your Alexa Bliss, who's her
out-talk you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I don't know. It's just hard. It's hard to back her whenever she doesn't feel like she can carry her own on the mic. I don't know. That's just me.
She's the heart of a chihuahua.
But they broke down into a brawl. Alexa Bliss grabbed a kendo stick and drilled Bayley in the back of the head.
Beat that ass.
And said, "You're not extreme enough. You can't get extreme." And
Take it to the extreme.
Yeah. So Bayley said to Kurt Angle, "I want my rematch at Extreme Rules. I want it to get extreme." And so he said, "Hey, okay, we're gonna have a kendo stick on a pole match." So be excited for that.
Okay.
Should be fun. Doug, what are your thoughts on the Alexa Bliss and Bayley segment?
It's kind of weak.
Yeah.
I don't know. The whole I don't know. It didn't work for me. I'm not even necessarily sure why.
Okay. After that, we got some cruiserweight action. Neville teaming up with TJP, going up against Austin Aries and Gentleman Jack Gallagher.
I don't think it shows that TJP is a heel in his entrance.
No, not at all. I mean, he's got a little more cocky attitude, but that's about it. I think they need to kind of, I don't know.
Change something up.
Yeah.
Don't know if it's his entrance moves or his theme music or his Titantron stuff. Something. I don't know if that really matters or not, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I feel like maybe the music doesn't suit. I don't know.
It comes out. Say if you haven't watched it in a while and stuff, like, oh, there's TJP. It's the same.
Oh, his music's exciting and sounds fun, so he's got to be a good guy. Oh, no. Okay. I don't know. But we had some tag match action. Neville TJP going up against Aries and Gallagher. Any thoughts on the matchup?
I'm trying to remember.
Not really. It was fine.
Yeah. I just remember the crowd getting lost on it. Someone brought a beach ball or whatever, and they were more focused on that. Which kind of disappoints me, but whatever. We've beaten that horse to death.
I can't talk about this again.
Okay, yeah, let's get past it. Let's just don't talk about it.
Neville and TJP end up getting the win, which takes us into the next matchup: Roman Reigns versus Finn Balor. And man, these guys put on a pretty good matchup. Pretty enjoyable stuff. Doug, what do you think?
Good shit.
Yeah.
They proved before that they were good right before Finn Balor got hurt and stuff, and still good stuff, man.
Yeah. It was really enjoyable.
Yeah, I don't know if this was the right finish. Especially, I'm going to assume that either Seth or Finn is going to get the title shot, and they're going to... Part of the reason they're going to do a 5-way is because it makes it feel like someone earned a title shot when they weren't the number one contender, and B, it's a way to Roman doesn't have to be involved in the finish. You know what I mean? Like someone else could win, and it doesn't have to be Roman that's beaten. So maybe this, in a sense, is giving Roman a big win because he just got a big loss from Braun, and he still needs to be a focal point. But then also you would argue that if Finn is the guy who's going to get the title shot against Lesnar, he needs a big win going in, so it's a weird situation. Who needs the win more? I'd probably say Finn needed it more. So I don't know if this is the right finish, but it was a damn good match. I mean, Roman consistently proves that no matter who he's in there with, he delivers. He proves his haters wrong every week, even though they all refuse to admit it.
Yeah. I think if it comes down to Finn and Rollins just from this week's Raw, I'd probably have to go with Rollins being the winner of the Fatal 5-Way.
They did present him. He came out last. He was sort of presented as the bigger deal of the two.
Yeah. He won, but it was by disqualification and all that. So, he's having to overcome two guys as opposed to Finn Balor, who just lost clean to Roman Reigns.
Finn Balor.
Yeah. Prince DeVitt.
People know him.
But yeah, it was a very solid matchup. Those guys went to town, Roman Reigns and Finn Balor. Roman Reigns gets the win. Earlier in the night, R-Truth tried to apologize to Goldust. Hey man, I'm sorry I let you down. I know how much you wanted to go for those tag team titles. And Goldust said, hey man, don't worry about it. You've fallen down. I helped you back up. I've fallen down. You helped me back up. So now let's go out there and...
I didn't think what was coming.
I didn't either. And I think that's kind of a good thing.
No, I didn't expect a turn, especially not after being so behind them last week. And the reality of the situation is they put 3 feuds into one match to get a number one contender. So they had to... switch some things around on the undercard to get matches for the pay-per-view. So they turned him and they turned Apollo so they can have undercard matches on the special event. I mean, if you notice, they did a Goldust turn and an Apollo turn.
Yeah.
Because so much of the card is in that one match, they have to fill out the rest of the card somehow. That's probably why they did it. I mean,
I didn't think that way.
Well, they took Rollins and Joe. I mean, Strowman's not here, but Roman takes that spot. They took 3 feuds into one match, which would have been 3 other matches on the show, because I think they intended to do Strowman and Reigns again.
Yeah.
And so that's 3 matches of your show that they combine into one match. So the rest of it seems like that's probably why they shook up the way they did. I don't necessarily know that it was... not gonna head that way anyway with the Goldust stuff, but that's maybe why they went ahead and did it as soon as they did. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, for whatever reason, the the promo backstage, I thought, okay, they're going to go up against Gallows and Anderson. They're probably going to lose, something along those lines. Or who knows, maybe they'll squeak out a win. But for whatever reason, whenever they made their entrance, whenever Goldust first walked out, I got a weird vibe.
It's because they never let Truth do the what's up thing anymore. And they're like, why are you letting him do it?
Yeah.
Weird vibes, man. Weird vibes.
So he comes out and, hey, guys, what's up? And bam, Goldust attacks from behind, beats him down, and says, that's what's up. Drops them.
Vibes are important in a cubicle.
Huh?
You don't get it?
Okay.
I got it.
Okay, he got it.
All right.
Okay, let's go ahead.
What's the reference?
Workaholics.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. Big dick. All that.
Big dick. We got to see that dick.
We'll get to that. After that, Enzo and Cass came out, started to cut their promo. They were interrupted by Titus O'Neil and Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews constantly looking like he's trying to tell Titus something. They get in the ring. Titus is like, yeah, my boy's about to tear Enzo up. And then he's informed that no, it's Big Cass that's going to be in the matchup, and it's not Apollo who's in the match; it's Titus O'Neil. So Titus is trying to say, dude, I'm in a $5,000 suit. There's no way I'm in this match. But
$3,100 suit.
Oh yeah, the $3,100 suit and it's like $1,200 shoes or something like that.
Yep.
So, but they end up getting put in a match, and props to O'Neil for starting that match full-fledged in the suit. I mean, he ended up taking his jacket off and rolling his sleeves up a little bit.
He's sweating like almost like automatically.
Jeez, yeah. And then you got the bright lights on you and everything.
Yeah.
That has to be hot. But Big Cass, quick victory over Titus O'Neil. After the matchup, Enzo grabs Titus's phone, tries to take a selfie, and Apollo Crews is like, dude, what are you doing? You can't be doing that. And delivers a kick to the back of Enzo's head.
This is why I said a while back I felt like needed to happen with Apollo. He needs to turn heel. We'll see where it goes. I mean, he may not be successful for that, but I'm hoping he's successful with this heel turn. Hey, man, do a tag thing with Titus and...
Yeah.
Or he could be his manager brand thing, what they've been doing, and he could just like Titus, like, oh, yeah, this is my client, and Apollo is just freaking dominant, you know?
Yeah. I mean... Now the crowd has a reason to be invested in Apollo Crews. They attacked a fan favorite. It's fine. So where they go from here, we'll see. I'm sure we're going to see a Enzo and Cass versus Crews and Titus match. But
I mean, they lose all the time. Cass or I guess Enzo does. Or whatever.
Yeah,
it doesn't seem like it did affect them. But I mean, they're just in this place and they're staying there. I mean.
Still going to be popular with the crowd no matter what happens. Yeah. I don't know. Doug, what are your thoughts on Apollo Crews?
I mean, I've literally never seen him work heels, so I don't know if he has it in him. He seems like a natural babyface to me.
Yeah.
So, well, we'll see.
Time will tell. So after that, we got to see the main event, Seth Rollins versus Bray Wyatt. This match comes via disqualification after Samoa Joe attacks Seth Rollins. Any thoughts on the matchup itself?
I mean, Rollins and Wyatt both are just
going through the motions.
I don't even know. I couldn't want to watch two people less if I tried right now. It's just like Rollins and Wyatt. I find nothing interesting or inspiring about their performance in any way, shape, or form.
How about Seth Rollins, Bray Wyatt, Dolph Ziggler in the ring together? Who do you watch the least?
I don't want to see any of them.
Well, if you had to look at two of them, which ones would you look at?
What do you mean?
Like, okay, so you don't want to see any of them perform.
No.
So if you have the ability to remove one from the situation because you hate them so much, who would it be?
So you're basically saying, like, who do I want to see the least of the 30?
Yeah. Out of Bray Wyatt, Seth Rollins, and Dolph Ziggler.
Through some hypotheticals.
Yeah.
We talking promos here? Or are we talking
in-ring action?
In-ring action?
Yeah. Who are you least in favor of?
Probably Wyatt, because I think there's at least a possibility that, like, Rollins or or Ziggler would do something stupid that would entertain me.
Wyatt is just the same shit over and over and over, and it's like,
Would promo be Rollins?
I don't
Rollins
know,
or
man.
Wyatt?
Wyatt does his promos. This is a nightmare scenario.
That's what we're trying to find out. Who turns the TV off for you?
Man, I really don't like either one of those guys' promos.
If you were stuck in a room for 1 hour and had to listen to their promos.
You know what? I would say Ziggler has had the thing most coming close to a tolerable promo for me recently. So in the promo department, I'll give it to Ziggler just in recent.
So you would rather listen to Ziggler?
I'd rather listen to Ziggler because I think in the recent months he's had the closest resemblance to like a decent promo.
Okay. So you would least likely want to see Bray Wyatt in ring competition, and out of the three, you would be more in favor of hearing Dolph Ziggler cut a promo.
I guess all three of these are the shits right now. I don't know.
All right. Well, speaking of cutting promos, what did you think about the Usos cutting their promo on SmackDown?
I was into it.
As of late?
I was into it.
They've been doing a really bang-up job. I'm liking it. I don't know why I like it, but I like it.
tell him what's up, Oos.
I thought it was good. They specifically addressed like what does the ish stuff mean.
Yeah.
I was like, finally,
Yeah, finally we get some answers.
there's some clarity.
Someone's listening to our show.
I don't think that. I just like it.
No,
Just like
they've been listening for
I was
years.
just like, yeah.
It's an ongoing thing. I'm
They
still waiting
addressed-
for that
they
check.
addressed it.
Backstage, like, dude, you gotta explain your shit.
Yeah, that's what it means. And I like that their promo was specifically for Breezango, and they made it about it. It wasn't just a copy and paste. We can't wait to beat you at insert pay-per-view, and it was like, no, you're the fashion police. We're the prisoners or whatever.
When we win, what was it? It'll be day one is H.
I did chuckle a bit at that. So SmackDown, we had the...
Yeah, man, Usos. Who knew they had that promo ability in them?
I think they were just...
I didn't think so. No.
I was pleasantly surprised by this.
Mm-hmm. I think they were just waiting for their opportunity.
Yeah, maybe so.
They're like, dude, give us the mic. Let us go out there and show you what we can do.
And
So,
it was not like a stereotypical promo, like in any sense.
You know how I say, like, when you flip someone, like, oh, okay, they played their part when they're a face, now turn them heel.
Mm-hmm.
I swear, before they did this, I'm like, Usos have played their part.
Yeah.
I don't care to see them as heels.
Yeah,
They played their part.
They are a team that seemed like natural babyface team.
Mm-hmm.
But man, they're really on top of their game as far as the character
They've
work.
transitioned into actual heels. And you can hear the anger in their voice whenever they're cutting the promos.
gonna be completely
They're
honest.
yelling. They're mad. They're
I didn't
frustrated.
think they would be this successful. I didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's just how I felt.
I don't know that I'd argue that they're successful.
Not
yet,
like
but
the way they are now. I
mean,
didn't feel like they didn't.
I see what you're saying in terms of like successfully like turning around their character. Yeah, I get what you're coming from, but get where you're coming from. But yeah,
They're not just walking out with a mean face on their, mean look on their face. They're actually cutting the heel promos, doing heelish things, and getting reactions from the crowd. So,
Yep.
it works. As far as SmackDown goes, we did see the highlight reel, the new and improved highlight reel, whatever, with Kevin Owens. AJ Styles interrupts, then Jinder Mahal.
and this Kevin Owens shit was bad. I feel like he was just going through the motions. Like,
Yeah. He seems to have changed since he went over to SmackDown. Like, I know he's doing the whole Face of America thing, but he seems like not to care as much.
yeah, there's something weird going on. I don't know.
It reminds me a lot of when Jack Swagger first won the World Championship. Like, whenever he cashed in Money in the Bank, like, he used to come out, he had the big smile on his face. As soon as he won, his hand was raised, he had a serious look, and that was the end. But I don't know, like, I don't know if maybe Kevin Owens is just against the whole Face of America idea, and he's kind of just like, all right, this is what you got for me, fine, I'll go out there and do it.
It just felt really uninspired. It felt like he sort of felt like kind of like empty behind the eyes. You know what I mean? Like lights on, nobody's home. You know what I mean?
Like he's just all right. I mean, I'll go out there and do it, whatever. But
really uninspired performance.
Yeah.
And you think you'd get hype to work AJ? You know, you're gonna have a good match with AJ.
Mm-hmm.
Tell you what, I was pumped for AJ and
I was really intrigued to how this was gonna play out.
yeah.
AJ and Jinder Mahal.
Yeah, I was very interested to see.
That's the first matchup.
Yeah, it was the very first match.
The match was totally fine. And to be completely honest, like Orton is not going to work that hard to have a good match with Jinder. Like this is going to be as good as a match as Jinder is going to have because Orton's not going to work this hard.
Yeah.
And AJ, I mean, it was not a great match. I don't even think I'd call it a good match, but I think it was a completely fine, passable match. I thought AJ worked really hard. Jinder is somewhat limited, but he doesn't do anything that he can't do. He's not out there trying to do shit he knows he can't do.
Shooting star press.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
He knows his limitations.
Yeah, I don't just mean like real fancy moves. I mean, he knows
After
like
big
what
boot.
he knows what he
Leg
can
drop.
do convincingly. You know what I mean? And he does. He sticks to what he can do convincingly.
Yeah.
And yeah, I thought it was.
You know,
totally
with the
fine match.
Maharaja can only do what he can only do. You know.
He only does what
I
he
feel like
needs
they
to
threw
do.
about a bunch
true.
of names for his shit out, and I didn't catch any of them. I felt like
Yeah, there's something
they
else.
named his finish this week, and I didn't catch
Yeah,
it. And then
they
The
did.
Colossus?
something like that.
Because
Yeah.
I kept saying Colossal. No, it's just the Colossus.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
it. The floss.
They
No,
said something
not
else
floss.
too. They named something else, or they gave him a catch something else, and I didn't pick up on that either.
But yeah, I mean, it was, I was expecting there to be some sort of interference, which there was. But for Jinder to pin AJ Styles says a lot.
He
you know?
no, he had to. He absolutely had to.
Yeah.
I mean, he's pinned the champion Randy Orton. He's pinned the former champion AJ Styles. Maybe he's actually got a shot at doing this thing.
Like you don't want to sabotage AJ by having Jinder beat him clean, but Jinder has to win going into this match. He needed that for credibility's sake.
Yeah. So we already talked about the Fashion Files, and Breezango ends up defeating Primo and Epico. Nothing really to it for that. And then the Usos cut their promo, which was fine. Got to see the women's contract signing, which turned into a brawl. What'd you guys think about James Ellsworth getting on the mic and saying, "Listen, ladies, I'm sorry, but I'm spoken for. Charlotte, you call yourself the queen? Well, I'm the only prince for the princess of Staten Island."
I thought it was pretty whack.
Yeah.
So this is what
Are
they're
you
gonna
falling
have.
off the Ellsworth bus?
Yeah. They have to give him something.
I mean, it just seemed really forced. Like there was not a need for him to do like what he did. I don't know.
There was no need.
I'm fine with him sort of playing the stooge for Carmella, but this is just like a frivolous use of it. I don't know. Like there was not really a point.
So it's a
to it.
2-year contract he signed, right?
I think so.
I think so.
So wonder if he's gonna. They have nothing for this dude, huh?
No.
Give him something legit. Like,
They can't.
What do you mean?
no, this is legit, but let him wrestle.
Who?
I don't know. Let him wrestle.
He'd have to be.
You want
like-
something legit? Give me something legit. Put him on 205?
They've already. Well, I mean, let him wrestle. How they've already established that he's like the shits. Like he can't win on his own. All his victories were like fluke wins. They established that he couldn't.
Well, if he
beat
got
anyone.
trained, or the storyline, he got trained by someone, he wins, and
I mean, he'd have to do a full on call in Delaney and just like redo the whole thing.
Yeah.
Basically, like he just gets his ass kicked until he like banana pills into a win. You know,
He could go to 205 Live. He's labeled as 176.
he couldn't work the style
I
even
would
as a
love
jobber.
to see him in the ring against the cruiserweights. That would just be funny to me.
Even as a job guy for 205, he wouldn't click with the style.
No.
That's not the type of wrestler.
He'd be there
It's
strictly
just
to get his
won't-
ass kicked.
So
every
for the
week.
rest of this contract, he just won't wrestle. He's just going to be with.
They'll probably
Carmella,
have
you
him
think?
do like spots. You know.
take bumps.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you really go back and he didn't really wrestle ever. He just sort of they did like little spot based matches.
Mm-hmm.
Tell you
It's not
what,
like he did a bunch of shit.
I'm pumped for 2K18. I hope
He's going to be DLC. He's going to be the pre-order.
No, I bet he's in the game. I hope he's in the game.
He'll be pre-order bonus.
Like, oh, he has no moves.
No
No,
music.
they're gonna give him some moves. I'm gonna make him the WWE champion.
They'll make him the most overpowered character in the game, just because people would be embarrassed to play as him. Then they play him. They're like, oh god, he starts the match with 3 charged finishers, and yeah, that would be weird. I mean, still, I would happily take his place. I have no problem collecting those paychecks to do basically nothing.
I mean,
I mean, he's not taking anybody else's spot. He's a stooge for Carmella. What's the problem?
I think Tyler just wants more for James.
yeah.
I think that's what it is.
But you're right. He's gonna get a good paycheck, and then once he leaves this place, he's gonna have. Well, I mean, I don't know how much he gets paid, but he should.
I would assume enough.
Yeah.
Enough to probably a lot more than he was making before he signed that contract.
You know, I wonder if he wrestles like on like house shows and stuff. Or
I know, I think Dreamer tried to book him for House of Hardcore a couple of times. I don't know that he actually did the shows or whatever.
I think he originally booked it.
I mean,
and
before he signed his like deal.
Yeah, and then he canceled it or something because he was signing the contract as opposed to working the shows in the process of signing the contract. Anyways, that turns into a matchup between Carmella and Naomi. Any thoughts on the matchup? Ends in the roll-up of death.
Nope.
No, nothing. Cool. That takes us into the main event: Randy Orton versus Baron Corbin. Any thoughts on that?
No, I didn't finish the match because I was watching it today before we record, and I had to leave to get here, so I didn't finish the show.
I mean, I thought it was all right. I enjoyed it, just because I don't think they've fought each other too. And I mean, that doesn't mean that it's gonna be a good match. I just get excited when there's fresh matchups and stuff.
Yeah, new matchups. Orton wins with an RKO from out of nowhere.
Well,
1, 2, 3.
it wasn't out of nowhere.
It was out of nowhere. It happened so suddenly.
Yeah.
Although he had been trying a couple of times throughout the match. But then after the match was over, Jinder Mahal and the Singh brothers came down, beat down Randy Orton, and stood
Man,
tall.
they're so small compared to
They really
Randy
are.
and Jinder.
Yeah. That's one of the things that I noticed. Like, Jinder Mahal, he's a big guy. I wonder how tall he is.
Well, he's big like that.
6'5". He's a big guy.
Shit.
Pretty big dude. So that pretty much wraps up SmackDown. You guys want to go into Backlash before we talk about NXT Takeover?
Sure.
Since it kind of plays into from SmackDown to Backlash.
SmackDown to
Yeah, that's fun.
Backlash.
All right.
Backlash.
Well, if that's the case, we got to hear those picks. We got to hear those picks.
We got to hear those picks.
Hey, thanks.
You're welcome.
Backlash taking place this Sunday on the WWE Network. The kickoff match that has been announced is Ty Dillinger versus Aiden English. So, haven't seen these two in a week or two, but they're having a matchup. And, yeah, I don't know. I think I'm going to go with Ty Dillinger on this one.
Same,
yeah.
All right. A match that was announced on Talking Smack after SmackDown this past week. That's going to be Luke Harper going up against Eric Rowan. And did you guys happen to see the video with Rowan on Talking Smack?
I saw a GIF. I saw a GIF of it, but I didn't watch it. I didn't have
How
time.
did that work out?
He basically comes out.
Pulled up a balloon and then popped it or something?
He comes out, he grabs a microphone, and he's like, I want to show you all something that makes me happy, or that makes me smile. And so he sits down next to Renee, and he puts on the clown sheep mask that he has, and he goes, I want to show you something that makes me laugh. And he reaches under and pulls out a helium balloon, hands it to Renee, and she's like, thanks? And then he pops it, and she's startled by it, and all of a sudden he grabs the microphone and it's just like, While he's got the mask on, so it's muffled. And then he gets up and walks off.
I mean, that's playing into his character, so.
Yeah, he's a very strange individual. But it's going to be Luke Harper versus Eric Rowan at Backlash. Tyler, who you picking on this one?
Eric Rowan.
Rowan, interesting.
Kind of feel like Luke's going to get the shaft.
Doug?
I'm gonna go with Rowan too.
Ooh, interesting.
Ew.
Well, I don't want to be left out on this one, so I'm going to go Eric Rowan.
Don't want to be left out in the cold.
Yeah, don't make me be the loner in this one, guys. Yeah, I'm going to pick Eric Rowan as well, as much as I don't want him to. Yeah, I would prefer Luke Harper get the win, but I don't know. I don't know why we're having this match. And I don't know what's going to happen whenever we have a winner.
Are in a land of like complete
ever since
disarray.
the shuffle, yeah.
Disarray.
Ever since they shook everything up, now it's kind of like, okay, we had all of these guys established. Now we're not sure what to do.
Well, I mean, there's certain characters that you know what's going on, but there's a lot.
Yeah,
Don't know
there's a lot going on. We have a 6 women's match. Charlotte teaming up with Becky Lynch and Naomi to go up against Natalya, Carmella, and Tamina. So, Doug, we'll kick things off with you. Who are you going to pick?
I'm gonna go with the baby faces.
Baby faces, not the welcoming committee?
No, I'm going baby faces.
All right. How about you, Tyler?
Shit.
Well, I'll go ahead and give mine. I'm picking Charlotte, Becky Lynch, and Naomi to win.
I'm gonna go opposite.
Going with the welcoming committee?
Yeah.
All right. Lone person out. Lone bear.
And it's cold out here.
It is very cold. Next matchup to talk about, Baron Corbin versus Sami Zayn. I feel like this one could be a toss-up, but
How everything's been going with Sammy, it would be like Baron.
Yeah, I'm leaning more towards Baron Corbin to get the win.
Baron Corbin.
Sami Zayn.
Oh, man. All right.
Hey, did we talk? There was that Angle segment on Raw. He was talking to Sammy on the phone. Is that what they said it was?
I think that's who he was talking to, yeah. He was like, yeah, you're doing a great job, Sammy.
Okay.
Something along those lines.
All right.
Tag titles on the line. Usos versus Breezango. I think I'm going to keep the titles on the Usos.
Usos.
All right. You know
Gotta go
on
against
that
my boys.
One. Oh. Wee woo, wee woo, wee woo.
I tell you what, they're not gonna have a day one. Day
Ish.
one is not gonna be
Ish.
H. It's not gonna be H.
Day one is H. Debut matchup for Shinsuke Nakamura going up against Dolph Ziggler. I think it's pretty obvious.
Obvious.
Yes. Oculus. Pretty obvious who's going to win. I know, Tyler, you're already going to say Dolph Ziggler, so I'll say it for you. Tyler's picking Dolph Ziggler.
No.
No?
Nope.
You shaking things up?
Yeah, I'm gonna do Shinsuke Nakamura. I'm gonna
Really?
be crazy, man.
Wow. Gambler.
Yeah.
Doug, how about you?
Knock.
It's a tough call, but I think I'm going to go with Shinsuke Nakamura on this
How do you
one.
think it's gonna You think it's gonna be a good match, or how do you think it's gonna be?
I don't know.
I think there's going to be a lot of feeling out in the beginning because it's Shinsuke's first match, and
Filling out. He's gonna try to get close to Dolph, and he's going like this.
yeah, he's going to try and kick him. Maybe you could hit him with a kick or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so all three of us picking Shinsuke Nakamura to defeat Dolph Ziggler. Kevin Owens versus AJ Styles for the United States title.
Shit.
Yeah, this one's going to be kind of a tough one to call. I would like to see AJ Styles win. I will understand if they give the win to Owens so he can keep the title, and maybe AJ Styles can be next in line for a title shot for the WWE Championship. But I don't know. Do either of you guys have a compelling argument one way or the other?
This does not mean anything. It's just what I'm thinking. I'm gonna skip to something too.
Okay.
AJ wins. He's a face. Jinder beats Orton. And he's ill.
That could be, yeah.
That doesn't mean shit. I'm just.
Or Owens wins and AJ goes up to face Jinder Mahal for the WWE Championship.
Yeah,
because he won't have a title holding him back.
Who knows?
I'm going Owens.
You're going Owens? All right. Tyler?
They did put a lot into this Face of America thing, not a lot, but they're just shoving it down our throats.
Well, yeah, but they also had Kevin Owens lose in his first title defense. But
That was strictly because they were
all expecting Jericho to lose, and
they strictly did it because they didn't like the fact that everyone knew the finish.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens.
Which is a dumb reason to adjust the finish.
Absolutely.
Kevin Owens.
Just because you all think you know what's happening.
You don't know shit.
Yeah, I'm picking Kevin Owens as well to retain. I think AJ Styles is gonna have brighter matches on the horizon. Excuse me. And that's going to take us into the WWE Championship. Randy Orton versus Jinder Mahal. This one, I'm kind of torn because I feel like they've spent all this time attempting to build up Jinder Mahal as a credible threat. They put the Singh brothers with him. It could be a well-established heel.
Torn, you said?
I'm kind of
Natalie
torn.
Imbruglia?
Yeah. I'm a little spaced. This is how I feel. Cold and I'm ashamed. Anyways.
Lying naked on the floor?
No, I'm not naked. You're in the room with me. You clearly see I'm not naked. I don't know. Doug, what are your thoughts on this matchup?
I think Orton retains. It seems like there is a strong possibility that this sort of anything they've done to present like Jinder strongly could be all for naught if he loses, which I do expect him to lose. Simply because I don't know, they hot-shotted his rise, so it felt like he came out of nowhere. So if he doesn't capitalize on it, it feels like it goes away just as easily as it came. Mm-hmm. I don't know. He may be able to stick around as like a strong, like mid-card heel or something. I don't think it's out of the question they might put the belt on him. I don't, for whatever reason, I just don't see that they will. And I feel like it's almost like, why do the meteoric rise just to like not do it with him? But it just seems like business as usual for them to do something like that.
Yeah. So you're
it could ruin him if he doesn't win, if they're not careful, but it was a gamble. I mean, it wasn't much to gamble with because he wasn't doing much in the first place. But I don't know. I just don't see it happening. I just don't see it.
So you're going with Orton.
Orton
to win?
I'm going with Orton. I would beat him. I'd put the belt on Jinder just because I feel like that is credibility that can't be lent any other way than that title. That's a situation. Like sometimes they say guy makes a title. Sometimes title makes the guy. This is a title makes the guy type situation.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just felt like, why invest in Jinder if you're not going to go? Why invest in Jinder? Period. Especially, why do it so hard so fast to not go all the way with it? You know.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't feel like they are. I mean, I could be wrong. I'd be happy to be wrong. I think they probably should put the belt on them just to pay off their investment, but I just can't see them. I don't know. It just seems like them to do something like this, to heat a guy up really hard for a month only for him to, and maybe he was only ever intended to be like a placeholder feud for Orton or something, because it feels like Corbin's on the back burner and he's the next challenger, possibly, or maybe Rowan or something. I don't know. But I don't know. I don't know.
How about you, Tyler?
I'm just going with like feeling that what I want instead of thinking about I want Jinder to win. So
Picking Jinder Mahal to win.
And even it's not like Orton is the face of the brand. Like they made it clear that SmackDown is the AJ Styles show.
Yeah.
So even as champ, like Jinder wouldn't have the brand on his back. So there's no reason not to do it. I just don't. I think they're not though. You know.
I don't think they're going to do it, and I think you guys might be forgetting that there's an X factor in this event. Not the Singh brothers, but it was someone who said that they were going to be on SmackDown this past week who was not, who asked for a championship match at Money in the Bank.
Oh,
a particular,
Rusev.
yes. So I could
shit.
I could easily see this match going Jinder Mahal's way. Orton suddenly hits the RKO. The Singh brothers are down. Maybe Rusev gets involved, causes a disqualification. So that could set up for another championship match for Jinder.
Plus, it plays into they were a tag for a while, so it plays on that. Well, I like that they would. They probably wouldn't play up the continuity that way, but I like the fact that they were a team if it does go down like that.
So,
well, they did say "fuck you" to each other in Split though, so never mind.
So there is that option. That's the X factor because he said that he was going to appear on SmackDown this past week. He did not, and what better place to come back and cause a disruption and say, "All right, Shane, you're not gonna return my calls. You're not gonna answer my challenge. I'm gonna disrupt your show." So
yeah, that's a way to get out of beating Jinder. They haven't beat him yet since heating him up. They haven't beat him, so that's a good way to get out of it.
yeah, I think that's the most sensical way that you can not give the title to Jinder Mahal but still keep him hot.
Right,
So I'm gonna pick that Randy Orton wins, but probably by disqualification.
makes sense to me.
What do you think, Tyler?
Still saying with Jinder.
Works? Are you still sticking with Jinder? All right, don't hinder Jinder. So that'll do it for our Backlash predictions. Make sure to let us
Tyler,
know.
who's Jinder's first feud if he wins? AJ? Is that what you do?
You got to do the rematch with Orton.
Yeah.
And maybe that's where you bring in Rusev. I don't know. But,
They're both hills.
yeah. I would probably say AJ Styles.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you're listening to us on YouTube, make sure to submit your predictions as well. Let us know if you think we're right or if we're wrong. Let us know why. Also on our Facebook page, WNS Podcast. But I got to say, those were some great picks. Those were some great picks. Those were some great picks. Oh, you did it anyways. Okay, cool. All right. NXT Takeover taking place.
Normal, man. I can't say dicks.
Yeah. Who wants to do that? NXT TakeOver Chicago taking place this Saturday on the WWE Network. There's 5 matches on the card so far. First match, we don't have to give our predictions for it, but we'll talk about them anyways. First one is Roderick Strong versus Eric Young. Any thoughts on the match? To be honest, I haven't been following NXT.
I bet I'll loot myself.
Yeah. I'm gonna tune in and I'm gonna watch it. I'm sure it's gonna be enjoyable.
Jump Roderick. I think Sandy jumped Roderick because they were trying to find a number 1 contender for the NXT title. It was Hideo Itami versus Roderick Strong, and I think they eventually jumped Roderick.
I could not tell you.
So
Couldn't tell you that part. But yeah.
Stand up, boys.
So it will be Roderick Strong versus Eric Young. I'm curious to how the match will go. I'm sure it'll be a fine matchup. Both guys are skilled veterans of the ring.
What are they doing with my boy KO besides making him wrestle with a shirt on?
I know there's something coming up, and I think
He had a pretty good match. I did watch part of NXT.
Did he wrestle almost this week?
Yeah.
Oh, I bet
Yeah,
that
he
was
did.
good.
That was it. Yeah, that was it.
It was
bet
pretty
that was
good.
Oh, you see the thing? I guess this is playing into his character. I saw it and I was like, "What the hell is this?" They were like, "Oh, is Cian's partying like affecting his wrestling?"
Yeah,
like his
he's
stuff?"
out.
I'm
He's
like,
going out partying and
I
all
was like,
that. And
let me click on this. They wouldn't post this if this wasn't like. I was like, "Oh, this is into his character." I was like, "I get it." Okay, because it's like
he's a party boy.
He's backstage and they're playing his music, but he's on his phone. They're like, "Cian, come on, let's go." He's like, "Hang on." He's like on his phone doing
Yeah,
stuff.
there you go. Hashtag it.
Yeah.
So,
Go Renables, son.
but yeah, I'm expecting a good match from Roderick and Eric Young. They're also going to have the UK Championship on the line. Tyler.
Okay, sorry to cut you off. Friday, they having like a UK
Special.
special.
Yeah. that they filmed whenever they went and did their UK tour.
Oh, okay.
And that's going to have Jim Ross and Nigel McGuinness calling the action.
Interesting. That's cool. Wow.
And it's going to be the same for the UK Championship match between Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne. JR will be calling that particular match, which I think is pretty cool. So it should be exciting. Authors of Pain are going to be going up against Team DIY for the NXT Tag Team Championship. I'm really expecting Authors of Pain to win.
Win? So they could take on Heavy Machinery?
Maybe. I haven't been following Heavy Machinery, but I've been hearing their name floating around a couple of times. And also, supposedly, there was a musical artist who did a theme song for Johnny Gargano.
Yeah.
And so that's leading a lot of speculation that DIY is going to be splitting soon. So if that's the case, maybe this could be the turning point, so to speak. But we shall see.
Gargano.
Women's Championship on the line. Asuka versus Ruby Riott versus Nikki Cross. Ember Moon out with an injury, so she will not be able to participate. I'm kind of expecting Ember Moon to be the one to take the title from Asuka, but I
mean, plans change. She's hurt, and
yeah, I mean, well, she's out. She's obviously not in this matchup.
How do you think if someone? Okay, I haven't been watching the product, so I don't know about certain people. What if like Asuka leaves? I mean, is the women's? I mean,
women's division is doomed.
Now they just signed Io Shirai, who's going to be coming in. She's really good. And
where's she from?
From Japan. She wrestled in Stardom. But I don't know. She's really good too. So there's probably sort of like
shitload of people who work for WWE.
Mm-hmm. One of the things I did find pretty funny is that, like I said, I was watching NXT before you guys got here, and they did this little segment where Asuka was doing an interview, but she was in the car. And so the person who's interviewing her is sitting next to her, but they're off camera. And so they go, "Hey, Asuka, thanks for taking time to join us today." I'm like, dude, you guys are riding in a car together? And all of a sudden, anyways. So he asks, what are your thoughts on facing Ruby Riott and Nikki Cross in a triple threat match? And she's like, seriously? Next question. Because, she just did a fatal four-way at NXT San Antonio. Whatever. Anyways, so they're like, what are your thoughts on Ember Moon being out of the match? Are you worried that whenever she comes back, she's going to try and take the title? And she's like, next question. And then they go, what are your plans for whatever, the NXT Women's Championship? And she goes, is this interview over? And the guy's like, yeah, I guess it is. Thank you for joining us. And then it cuts to a camera angle outside of the car where the car pulls up to Full Sail University. She gets out, acts all happy, because the crowd is standing there chanting her name. She turns around, takes a picture, takes a selfie, whatever, walks off. The camera follows her, and once she gets out of the eyesight of the crowd, she rolls her eyes and is like, oh my God, I hate doing this. So she's showing a little bit of attitude as of late. So I won't be surprised if Asuka retains the NXT Women's Championship here. I don't know. We'll see. Final matchup, Bobby Roode going up against Hideo Itami for the NXT Championship. You think Roode is going to retain?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know
who's going to take it from him.
That's
either. I mean, I don't know.
That's what I'm wondering. I guess I need to follow the product more so I know who the next top stars are going to be. But, yeah. Just haven't had too much time. Anywho. So, like I said, that's going to be on the WWE Network this coming Saturday. Going into Hot Topics, did you guys see the tweet from that Randy Orton retweeted and his apology and all that?
Didn't you post it on our Facebook, or I saw it somewhere?
I think I might have sent it to you.
I saw it.
What'd you think of it?
Yeah, who cares?
Who cares? The dive?
I mean, Orton's opinions on wrestling is not exactly something I'm flocking to and salivating over hearing Orton's opinions. I half the time he's not motivated enough to work a entertaining match. So what do I give a fuck about what he thinks?
To be honest, I thought it was pretty hilarious. his little apology that he did, I was laughing while I was reading that because it was like, oh yeah, I was having a few drinks, I was having a good time, and I guess whenever my check cashes, I'll. I
mean, it's really easy when you've been groomed, like when you've been groomed from the start to be a quote unquote star that you may or may not, and I would argue have not fulfilled your end of the bargain on. It's real easy to talk all that shit like it's no big deal when you've been groomed since you've decided to do this to be who he is. It's real easy to, make fun of those guys who are like, trying to make it on their own in like smaller places.
Yeah. But what are your thoughts on the breakdown of the indie matches with all the dives, the handshakes, the no selling and all that in today's wrestling world?
Randy Orton's opinion is not something I ever can.
Well, no, not necessarily that, but the tweet that he retweeted, it was like, "Hey, here's the match: handshake, dive, move that almost gets you killed, no sell, dive, doing all that, like the whole breakdown of the match."
I mean, the thing is that like every generation's old timers say that this generation's like do too much, and it's always been that way, and it's always gonna be that way.
Interesting stuff. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, go and check out Randy Orton's Twitter account if you so choose. He apparently also got into a little spat with Bully Ray, and yeah, they went into it. So. Well, go to their Twitter and check it out.
Or you can tell me.
Or you can go to their Twitter and check it out. Final bit of Hot Topic news. Scott Hall, over the past week, was hospitalized and released. Apparently, he was at an event and had to be brought to the hospital and was then released, and he went home. So, hope whatever the issues might have been, I hope he gets a speedy recovery and is back to normal in no time. Mm-hmm. Speaking of that, did you guys see where they... that wrestler who passed away, he had a heart attack, like in the middle of the ring.
He had multiple.
Yeah, he ended up having like 3 of them. It was an independent wrestler. He ended up having
3 of them,
he had 3 heart attacks. They said he had one in the ring, one on the ambulance ride on the way there to the hospital, and one while he was in the hospital.
Good Lord.
And he was 29 years old and he died.
Shit.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's terrible to hear. And a lot of people are saying is because of, now in a lot of wrestling matches, there is an overabundance of the chops, and so that's starting to play a factor on the performers' hearts. So, it's speculative.
I don't know. I'm not a scientist or a doctor, so I'm not going to make a comment one way or the other about that. Mm-hmm. It seems kind of a weird thing to say, though. I don't know. Who knows? I certainly don't know, so I'm not going to comment. Right. I mean, about the chops specifically, but
yeah. Well, I mean, just like the slaps to the chest, the overabundance of like stress to the body and the chest cavity, and I don't know. It could be a contributing factor, but yeah. So anyways, that's going to do us for us this week. If you have any questions or comments, make sure to leave them on our YouTube channel, WNSvideo, also our Facebook page, WNS Podcast. You can check us out on WrestlingNewsSource.com or WrestlingNewsSource.com on Facebook, and subscribe to our show on iTunes if you so choose by searching Wrestling News Source Podcast.
Check us out on Stitcher, Beyond Pod, Player.fm, and Satchel. Just search Wrestling News Source Podcast to find us.
The podcast is on Twitter at WNS Podcast. Daniel is at WNS_Daniel, and Tyler is at Tyler_Aber.
So there you go. For the podcast crew, I am Daniel Heron.
I'm Tyler Aber.
I'm Doug.
And we will catch you all next week.